computer. Oh man, we're recording now. So I'm here with Justin Boyson, um,
Hello.
and he asked a really good question. And let me share my screen. And if you could maybe verbalize your question while I'm sharing it, that'd be cool.
Sure. Just put myself on do not disturb real quick. Okay. So I have this MR that I'm reviewing, and the way that the diff is being shown online is not very easy to reason about. And
Mm.
so Paul has had better ways of comparing diffs locally that makes it easier to see the changes more as they are.
Yeah. So I'm excited to share this that I just started. I created a script locally to help me set this up, and it's been really, really helpful. As you can tell, I don't have my notifications disabled. Um, so let's see what happens. But yeah, here's an example. Like here, like a lot of these lines are the same. We're just wrapping this in an if. But when you read it, it looks like there's a big change. So this significantly affects the readability of diffs. When you're doing code review, it's really tough. You can locally, it's easy to find if you have just a one commit MR, you could like just reset a step back or something, and like you could see the changes of just that one commit. But when you have a multi-commit MR, viewing the diffs locally can be a bit of a challenge, but thankfully it's not impossible with a little bit of Git Jitsu. And I'm going to share, we're going to create a snippet that shares the alias between all this. But I'm going to show Justin what I've been doing locally, and it's been really nice. So I'm over here in my overview. I'm going to copy this branch, and I open my VS Code editor. So this probably will work with any kind of code editor as long as you have some sort of like diff viewing tab here of what is staged and unstaged. But I'm going to check out that branch. And here's the alias that I've made. We're gonna unpack the magic in a little bit. But I have one. I call it review-mb for merge base. So whenever I'm reviewing stuff, I run this alias, and this is what happens. It takes all of the changes of the MR and puts them into staged. So then I can just click on one, and I can see a much prettier diff of things that are going on. So the alias that I called it was review MB for merge base. But what it actually does is it creates this revert commit by applying the diff from the merge base to the head, but backwards. And then it reverts this revert commit without committing. So this is the revert of the entire MR changes. And then it reverts that revert without committing, so I can see all of it and staged in a nice way. I don't know if you think this would be helpful, Justin, if this answers your question, but this is my process for it.
Sure.
Yeah, so is this the kind of thing you were looking for?
I think so, yeah.
Okay, so yep.
I'd say I'm more comfortable looking at the MRs inside of VS Code personally, so that helps by itself. Yeah.
Yeah. So no matter. So let's unpack the alias a little bit, and then so here's all my different aliases. Hopefully there's no secrets here. But here's what's going on: is it takes the diff from the head to the merge base, but it's going backwards. And then it applies that diff, and it creates this revert commit. So that takes all of the changes and packs them into one commit, but backwards.
Okay.
And then it does a revert of that revert without committing, so I have everything in staged. And so when I create patches or something on top of this, I can go ahead and just commit this, and then I'll create more patch commits, and I'll share those with others. So like if I saw something in this file that like, oh, we really should do it, we should do it like this. Before I send this over, or I guess I gotta save it. Before I send this over, I'll go ahead and, okay, let me just stage this revert. And then I'll go ahead and make new commits on top of that and share those commits as patches. So I don't push anything up. If you start that's the thing you have to watch out for is this creates a new commit, so don't just push it up whatever is going on.
Okay.
But yeah, then I'll create a patch from this, and for the sake of completeness, I'll go ahead and walk through that where it's like, hey, we really should do it this way. That's not a good commit message, but oh well. So instead of pushing up, I do format patch, and I'm just gonna create a patch off of that commit that I just created, like that. So those are my two most significant tools I use to review code. Is one that scripts to package everything into one diff like that, and then this one that helps format patches. Now, while we're here on the call, let's make it a productive call, and let's add a snippet for this review base thing over here in our snippets. Create a new snippet. The title,
It's the hard part.
I don't know, review MB. This is an alias you can add to your local Git config, which I found to be really helpful with reviewing MRs. Look, there's lots of local there. All right, alias. There you go. And there's probably a lot of improvement that could be had to here. It takes an argument technically if you wanted to have this look at a different branch as for the comparing the merge base. So you can add that as argument, but I don't think I've ever used this argument other than just using whatever origin master I need. So let's see if creating a snippet worked. Yeah.
Woo!
I'm gonna add that alias for it.
Bet.
Cool. All right. I'm gonna stop sharing and stop recording, and tell me how you really feel, Justin.